We're joined now by our equine specialist, Dave Freeman. And Dave, you have some new additions out here on the place.
We do. This time of year we get our foals starting to hit the ground, so to speak. And we're right in the middle of getting those mares rebred.
And it's springtime is the time when they typically arrive?
We breed our mares to foal about March and April, partially because of class needs for students, but we also want to wait through some of the colder weather. But these foals are automatically turn a year age, according to registration papers, January 1. So March, April is when you see most of the babies in Oklahoma start to hit the ground. Mares are a little unique in that they have a rebreeding cycle about 7 or 8 days after foaling. That's called foal heat, and they actually will produce eggs and such, and we can get them bred then. That'll keep us in that yearly interval, or actually be able to bring them from a late April to a middle April or 1st of April for our student needs.
And since their gestation period is so long, right, you have to kind of go ahead
and
get the process.
You really have to pay attention to it, because if you miss that week after foaling, you're likely into another 25, 30 days before things start picking back up.
What are some of the signs that a mare is about ready to foal?
When they get close, within a couple of weeks, their bag will start filling up with milk, and they may actually start streaming milk a little bit. And then they actually will develop a little bit of a waxy substance on the end of their teats on the bag. We call that waxing up. 3 or 4 days worth of waxing up, we start getting really suspicious that they may be ready to foal. And then there's some conformational changes that we look at in their belly and along the top of their hip and such, because that foal right before birth, that several days, we'll be making some adjustments inside the mare, and it gives you, if you have a trained eye, you hopefully have a little bit of a chance of identifying, okay, she's getting ready.
And what are some signs that she may be having trouble? Is there a certain window there that you kind of know the baby's about to come?
Well, that's the thing with mares. We have a 3-stage parturition, so to speak, but that first stage is just basically she's still standing, showing some discomfort, may lie down, stand back up, give you an appearance that she might have a little bit of a colicky feeling and such because of the adjustment of the foal and such. And that may last a day. But when their water breaks, when that placenta actually expels to where the water breaks, it's 15-20 minutes and there's a foal on the laying down on the ground. So you have to basically be there before they initiate that active foaling, or else you won't catch it.
And then once the foal arrives, are there some things that the horse owner needs to do to take care of the baby right
Absolutely.
then?
You know, first off, I'd suggest there's going to be a need for some vet care, if not then immediately after. So develop a plan with a veterinarian, because there's some adjustments to what everyone does.
And each foal, no doubt, is unique.
Each foal is unique, each gestation length is unique, each mare's breeding activity is unique, so we have to handle them as individuals.
And finally, once they're here and they're out bouncing around with their mamas in the pasture, each of their personalities are unique, the way I understand it.
Absolutely. You know, we can identify personalities that are going to relate to their trainability at a very early age. We want to handle them when they're very young to get them used to humans. We want to handle them in the right way. We don't want to make pets out of them and let them learn to be dominant to us. But we want to make sure that they're used to having hands on them, and there's certain techniques we use. That has a large benefit when they're in their yearling year or 2-year-old year, when we start really actively training them.
Okay, Dave Freeman, good information. Thank you very much.
Very good.